Hey people, Gregor Subsa here. I'd like to introduce you to the second best game of the year, Broken Dreams Correctional Center. Now with a 99.7% use of AI for the creation of this video. This story-rich, strategy-based, furry fetish adult RPG is close enough to the second coming of the Great Flood, and I am Noah. Now I will disappoint you. If you weren't a big enough fan of the Epstein files, this game will break your spine into 28 pieces beyond repair. And yes, when I said this is a text-based game, I was serious. What you see on the screen right now is all you'll be seeing throughout the entire video. You're unwillingly arrested for a crime you have no idea about before being asked your name, which sadly didn't land on Sambubu by the Israel GPT Wheel of Fortune, but instead on Miklos Chernak, a prominent character in Slovakia's history who I can only hope won't see this video, or else I'll get a visit from Mr. Robert Fico himself, which won't end too well. Slovak underground activities aside, you get taken to a high security prison in the middle of space, which doesn't warn you of the possible atrocities that are most likely to be done to you. In my case, to my poor little mafioso feline, who is more than capable of many things. You get a shot collar, some clothes, and a cell to spend your free time in. Which you actually don't, because you'll be out and about ruining people's lives with your previous life experiences with other anthropomorphic characters, and there'll be a lot of that. You get woken up next day by the head guard Risha, who's going to be pretty annoying throughout the story, and get sent to the mines to mine valuable, definitely not radioactive ores for credits that can be spent on various things that I shall refrain from naming. As you get there, you get schooled on how to operate a pickaxe which was promised to your kind 4,000 years ago, urging you to yearn for the mines, by a broken man, a cracked polystyrene man who just crumbles and burns. Or whatever Thomas New York said. After finishing your long and tedious shift, you try to leave, but get met by Tabi, a female prisoner with a red marking, meaning she's there for a very bad reason. She explains how she has no friends and wants to befriend you, before ordering you to kneel down, which doesn't quite sit right with my alpha male mentality. So you beat some sense into her, and have her pray to Netanyahu on the ground. This doesn't exactly make her happy for the rest of the game, unless you decide to submit to her request and pray to Netanyahu as well. Sorry, Diddy Goy. Not happening. In the main lobby, where all the cells are, you meet Kitty, a schizophrenic who talks in third person, who has some very unfamily-friendly options to be done to, like embracing her and offering her an apple, therefore meaning you have to socially interact with a woman. Something Expedition 33 players have never experienced. Another win for the French. Hold on, I'm ordering some McDonald's. Give me a second. Give me a cheeseburger, some fries. Oh, and a Coke. No ice? Nah, keep the ice, keep the ice. I like it cold. Such a fat fucking chad. Anyways, we got a few scenarios here and there that randomly appear in different areas of the prison. Scenarios that aren't locked to one floor, since there are 3 in total. In the mine shafts, you get to meet Alex Reinhardt, the guy who taught you how to... Is my order gonna get accepted today or what? Dude, what the fuck? It's been like 4 minutes. Are they closed or what? Dude, come on, bro. The fuck? Processing order, bro. Come on, just give me my fucking order, bro. I'm not waiting fucking... Alex Reinhardt is the one to teach you how to pickaxe and whatnot. But if you're willing enough, there's a very long and tedious process of trying to get his trust, and help make his life a little easier by working beside him in the engineer lab. But first, you'll have to help him procure some panties for a very special and intriguing quest. Bringing him the required item, he turns them into portal panties. Yeah, we're gonna stop there. If you decide to keep them, you get credits for testing them. Yeah. You get to help him further with your company. Not the kind you're thinking, the kind where you're just sitting there next to him and watching him work. Incredible. If you build up enough trust with him, you can help him fix the tablets and lessen his workload. During all this, you meet yet another engineer, Socket. One very obvious... What? The fuck do you mean my order is here in 3 minutes? What the fuck? You meet Socket, the engineer. One very obvious feature of hers is that she's almost fully naked. Why? No apparent reason. Now that I've named a few of the interactable people, it is advisable to not get dominated and choked till you become unconscious, unless you want to become a milking machine in another galaxy for profit for a very unhealthy pair of lovebirds. It's a core moment in the gameplay. If you do get into this unfortunate predicament, your sentence is far from over, because after escaping, Mikuláš gets caught on an Alpha Corp scanner and gets sent right back to prison. Freedom is an illusion presented to you, and it does not lead to actual freedom. Coming back to my turf, I quickly assert my dominance and show everyone who's boss. One of the few souvenirs I got from my short detour is a ship.
Woke up in a fucking steaming mood yet, because I live in a shithole!
Carrying a weapon has you get frisked at checkpoints. Lucky for me, the milking machine freezer taught me a few things. Like the fact you can upgrade skills, which made me a complete killing machine. My immediate course of actions is to finish Sokka's quests as soon as possible. They're not as tedious as you'd expect. Sometimes. Finishing her quest lets me legally connect my cell's vent into other vents across the prison, as if I wanted to leave. Letting her be her naked self, I focus on Alex's questline, a very long questline to be precise. He tells us how he worked for Blue Space and how he didn't sit well with his boss, so he left, making his own project for an upcoming expo, where the price is infinite funding to any project. So in 2 weeks' time, he decided to create an exoskeleton, which backfires and breaks his entire spine due to his girlfriend setting it to do so, which then just shoots her and almost shoots Alex. This explains why he's such a grumpy pants and keeps to himself, also why he has extreme trust issues. To get his trust, you need to do his trust exercises, which are too unfriendly to be spoken of. Once you get enough trust with him, you get jumped by the local bully gang, which breaks his back, and leaves you to help him after fighting him off. With a broken back, it's up to you to beat up the local engineer Populi to not only assert dominance, but also get parts for a new spine, which you install during his surgery. Surprisingly enough, it works, and now your trust with him is at an all-time peak. You can get a few more things to do with him, like punching the captain of the prison for no apparent reason. This way you unlock the fourth and final trust exercise with Alex, and it explains the blocked out pregnancy option when talking to him. Moving on from this wannabe punished Venom Snake, we can progress a few of the other characters' storylines, which doesn't exactly make sense, since you're here to escape, not to become the local legend. Although it seems trivial to get as many people on your side before escaping, there actually isn't a way to escape the prison, aside from willingly being kidnapped and turned into most likely something worse than a milking machine. Kitty, or Rahi, is the local schizotoy. That's not a real word, I just can't say what she really is. Having a very troubling past, she leans to drinking and listening to Alice in Chains by a waterfall. This drinking problem is worse than it seems, almost killing her, so you're forced to be her mistress and help her overcome this addiction. This leads to me also becoming an alcoholic, not as a way to progress her story. No, I just drink alone to nutshell and repeat. It's been rough, man. Her questline is pretty straightforward, helping her stop drinking and building confidence in her. It really does not get... Oh wait, right, yeah, she tries to drown herself shortly after going to rehab. Anyways, via Socket's storyline, we find a secret tunnel that leads to an underground fighting ring, where you get to fight for credits. The only law? Don't talk about Fight Club. Climbing the ladder, we come face to face with Avi, the undefeated champion who's been a trouble in my ass since the beginning. Fighting her, she uses body enhancement, syringe-fed anabolic steroids, with which she overcomes us and pronounced as dead before being resuscitated. Talking about this to the local doctor, who is also a progressible character, she finds out these same drugs are used by the head guard Risha, who must be giving these to Avi, so she spikes them with an extremely potent aphrodisiac, rendering her useless in battle. Doing this, next time you try to rematch with Avi, she drugs herself and becomes extremely fragile, leaving you to win the fight. You have the choice to humiliate her, but instead I let her go. But the spectators have different ideas. It's safe to say she won't be able to move much for a while. After basically finishing all of the progressible character stories, and a few extra little characters who are there for other reasons, I go on a fentanyl spiked violence run, where I look literally anywhere where I could escape. I swear I looked into every nook and cranny for a fucking way to start my escape. The only way I found I can escape is after being a lilac fighter who tells you she's building a team to escape, which is blocked out since the game about escaping prison doesn't have the escape mechanic installed yet. To put it lightly, The game basically ends here. You could get kidnapped like I stated before, but the chances of being caught again are pretty high. Now for a game with this nature, I'll be very careful with what I say about it. I fucking love it. This probably shows some big red flags in me, but the fact that I changed my Ubisoft name to a character from this game speaks for itself. So the next time you're playing Siege and you see Alex Reinhardt BDCC6 selling your match, and you call me ass, go kindly fuck yourself.